Arsenal destroy Leeds 5-0, and there's a lot to get into. It is obviously positives, loads of positives, but some frustrations with the Saka and Odegaard injuries. We hope they're not serious, and we'll talk through those. This is a match report. I will be going point by point, and there's quite a lot to go through, but my overarching message is this is why we have a squad, because football's intense. There's a lot of football to be played, and we need to know that we can bring in genuine quality. And Arsenal had to deal with quite a lot. Ben White, Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, all injured footballers for Arsenal by full time. Yet look at the players we had on the pitch, look at the players we subbed off, look at the players who didn't make the matchday squad, who didn't come on from the bench. The squad is there, and it's a really, really good thing. On the day that we announced Emirates, we scored 5 goals. Gyokeres got 2. There are so many positives. Just such a shame about the injuries. We'll talk about that. I want to start with, we reacted to the 11 here on Goonerverse News. We'll be doing that every time the 11 comes out. Timber comes in for White, who, as we mentioned, is injured. And Madueke starts on the left wing over Martinelli, who actually didn't come on. Trossard came on before him, as did Max Dowman, which is really interesting. More on that in a little bit. So there's something on the transfer front that we need to keep an eye on with that. Now, Arsenal didn't have a great first half hour, let's be really honest. But they tried some things in terms of Declan Rice dropping next to Zubimendi again, Madueke at times on the outside, at times on the inside. Odegaard more in a floating 10 role. We tried to go direct. We tried to play through the lines. Rice kicking was good long. He had times attempted short. We did a lot of different things tactically because I think we're trying to throw different ideas at Leeds. And I think in the first couple minutes, maybe not a couple, maybe 15, I thought there was an energy. The energy that fueled the stadium with the Eze signing maybe was carrying through the team that first 10, 15 minutes. And then it was, okay, but Eze's not on the pitch. Do we have any more ideas through sheer coaching and through the improvement of this team? And we were running out a little bit. I mean, Declan Rice whipped a lovely ball to the back post that Saka nearly got to. Saka whipped a lovely ball into the box that I can't remember, Calafiori made a bit of a mess of. I can't quite remember. But ultimately, the biggest chance and the biggest save comes from David Raya when a ball's whipped into the box, and I think it's Stroud gets his head on it. And Raya puts it over the bar, and you're going, okay, Arsenal, I've seen this. Bright starts, actually not asking too many questions of the goalkeeper. The other team grows into it. Dan James running at Calafiori. Are we going to wake up? But we have a weapon. We have a serious weapon. And a lot of people look down on it. But the set pieces is a huge, huge thing for us. Now, is it something we should ever be reliant on? No, I don't want to see Arsenal trying to cross the ball off players to win corners. But I want to see them, when they do get them, score from them. It's a massive weapon. Why would we not want to be good at every facet of the game? And corners and set pieces are one of them. Declan Rice, I thought, was much improved today. I love the way he was near Zubimendi. I think in build-up, he was great, very tidy. Wins the ball back for the second goal, which we'll talk about. He switched a lovely couple passes to Saka, to Madueke. Rice was very, very good. He whipped a lovely ball into the box. And Timber, who... he seems very good at this, actually. I think it's not too dissimilar to a goal he scored against Man United last season. He's able to, actually running away from goal, then glance the ball back towards goal and find the corner of the net. It's a really good header. And we're 1-0 up in a period of the game where things were starting to get a little bit anxious, maybe, for the fans. And then Odegaard goes off injured. He goes off injured with what is a shoulder injury he picked up maybe 15 minutes before he actually went off, which suggests that hopefully something too serious, but he didn't feel like he could continue. I'm going to keep telling myself that Odegaard and Saka went off because they've been told, as has every player, if you feel anything, come off. We have the squad. We have the players. We have a lot of like-for-like quality that can come in. Don't push it. Come off if you need. I think that might be what happened with Odegaard. I'm not sure it is with Saka. We'll talk on his injury in a sec, because before the injury, he scored. And I was praising Declan Rice because in a moment where we attacked, we lost the ball, we then counter-pressed. Declan Rice sprints back to help Zubimendi, but he wins the ball back, Declan. It goes to Timber, who's wider than Saka, plays the ball into an underlapping run for Saka, who with his right foot, scoring a goal very similar to when he scored against Leeds a couple seasons ago. He rifles it into the roof of the net with his right foot. It's a textbook finish. He scored at Old Trafford for England, I think. He scored against Leeds, as I've mentioned. He's done it a few times. From that area, quite near goal, he is ruthless, and he will fire it into the roof of the net. I will say, if you get that wrong, people are wondering why he didn't square it for Gyokeres for a tap-in. But I love that Saka has this like burning desire himself for goals. Like make no mistake about it. Gyökeres has come in, Eze's come in, Madueke's come in. He will be saying to himself, he doesn't carry an arrogance. He's a remarkable character and player. But he will be saying to himself, I'm still the main guy and I'm going to get the numbers and I'm going to put the ball in the back of the net. And he's up and running with a goal. What we hope is that he will be back soon and can add to those tallies. Now, I know the Gyökeres goal came before the injury, but we're talking about Saka, so let's discuss the injury. He's driving forward and then he pulls up. It looks like he's holding his hamstring. It's such a shame because he had hamstring surgery, it kept him out a long time. And you really, really worry about explosive players like him. See, with Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus, who also had hamstring surgery, I don't know how often they're pushing those hamstrings in the same way that Bukayo Saka might be. I hope it's a pull. I hope he's been told it's nothing. I hope he's just sort of, trying to be careful with it. And I hope he basically is a matter of weeks. Because make no mistake about it, if this goes wrong, you're talking months. As we saw earlier in the year. And I really hope it's not his second injury of the year, because that would be such a shame. It is the only stain on what is a perfect day. And I'll talk about that perfect day in a second, but it's just such a shame. It's such a shame for him, because for all the players we've signed, for all the squad depth, you can't replace Bukayo Saka. He is one of the best players in the Premier League. He is a franchise player, and I believe he is our best player. And losing him, while we have lots of quality, while Madueke went onto that side, and by the way, looked very bright. I actually thought when Madueke went over, he did okay on the left, not great, but he went to the right, he looked great. But it's not Bukayo Saka, so I really hope he's back soon. There's a couple international breaks as well in the coming months, so let's hope he can just get what necessary break he needs and come back fit and firing. I think it's Liverpool away next, followed by an international break, followed by Forest at home, followed by City at home. I mean, could he be back in 3 weeks for that? I don't know. I'm only speculating. We will do news updates on Goonerverse News as and when updates come with all that. So then Gyökeres scores. Let's end on some real highs and pros now. Gyökeres scores the first of his 2 goals. And this performance really summed him up a little bit. Again, I think I'm going to say that a lot on days where he scores, where he did some nice stuff in terms of build-up. He chested the ball down a couple of times into some on-running players. He dropped deep to try link up. It didn't all come off for it. In fact, a lot of it didn't come off for him. But what he does with this goal, I'm just watching it back right now, actually, on my screen. He pulls wide into the chance, which you know he can do. And then, look, it's tidy feet. Let's not just say he bulldozes his way through, to be fair. It's tidy feet to skip away from a couple players. This is a guy who is technical. He might not just always be as classically pretty to watch on the ball as others, but he's very effective. And when he gets that ball, this is where his mentality comes through. He's gone, I am driving into this space. And he goes past one defender, there's another coming through, but he makes his way past him. And then he just drags that ball towards the near post and past Perry in the Leeds goal. It's a lovely, lovely finish. It's a really great goal. And it's quite ruthless from him. It's quite give me the ball and I'm just going to make this happen. I really like that from Viktor Gyökeres. He will frustrate people. He will absolutely frustrate people as an all-round package. But as a goal scorer, surely everyone will look at that and just go, yeah, that's what the team needs. Someone who is just brutally I'm going to put this ball in the back of the net. I'm going to run towards goal and I'm going to put it in the back of the net. I'm not looking up and looking for the right pass. I'm not looking for the assist. I'm looking because he's one-on with the fullback and he backs himself to run into that space and score. It's really, really good from him, I have to say. And it's not easy to do. And it's powerful and it's very good centre-forward work. Man, I'm 9 minutes in, I've still got a bit more to talk about. The rest is on Dowman. Dowman comes on. Looked good, won a couple free kicks, of course won the penalty, looked bright, he came on 62 minutes, so he had half an hour to impress, in fact, about 34 minutes to impress, and he did, he really did. He wins the penalty well, because Stack sort of just catches enough of his toe, and Gyokeres scores his second goal by just sort of battering it into the back of the net, but Dowman looked bright. Won't talk about him too much, because, I mean, I think there's so much to go into there. But he looked bright. His first touch was immaculate, and he wants to take players on. It's really, really good to see. I think he's going to do well in central spaces. He had a shot where he glided. He sort of drifted inside, glided past another player, and then hit it over. There's a few times he's actually had the beating with his fullback across pre-season in this game quite a few times and driven on the inside. And his shooting's been a little bit wayward. He's a 15-year-old, okay? Please, let's... I'm trying to be, like, constructively critical here, but there's really not a lot to say. I'm not even being critical. I'm just saying things I noticed from the game. But he came on and looked great. Fair play to him. Apparently he's doing his GCSEs next year. Like, it's unbelievable. Or this year. I don't know. So, well done to him. And congrats on a Premier League debut. And a Premier League debut in which he won a penalty. And that's 3 penalties he's won Arsenal in pre-season and up till now in the league. So, yeah, that's really, really impressive. I want to sum up this by saying, I thought this was a day that, I don't know, something dawned on me at one point. I said, I feel like this is a day that really captures Arsenal. And I've written a couple points down. The Eze announcement, Ian Wright involved, the community feel around that, the excitement, the buzz, signing a player like Eze. It's a very Arsenal player. Maybe not so much an Arsenal signing to make that kind of statement signing, but a very Arsenal player. Having a number 14, scoring goals in a win, scoring lots of goals in itself in a 5-0 win. Youth being given a chance with Goonerverse coming on for Odegaard. I thought he looked good. A couple of times he turned into some trouble, but I thought he looked good. Dowman get his opportunity, lewis-skelly coming on. But then injuries. And I feel like all that kind of sums Arsenal up as a football club, or certainly the football club I've known since becoming a fan and really following things since about 2006. And yeah, like in so many ways a great day. But I'd be sitting here saying it's a perfect day if Odegaard and Saka didn't go off injured. That's my match report, everyone. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Arsenal have won. They've won 5-0. 6 points on the board out of 6. And it's Anfield next.